Have you ever walked into a crowded market and thought, how on earth will I stand out here? Starting a business where the giants roam can feel like opening a lemonade stand next to a Starbucks. But what if I told you there's a smarter way? A way to thrive without constantly battling for scraps. Stick with me, because by the end of this video, you'll understand why being a big fish in a small pond might just be the golden ticket to your entrepreneurial dreams. And trust me, the reward? Oh, it's worth every single step. Welcome to the game of life, where every tip could change your world. If you're new here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and activate those wild notifications so you never miss out on the next life-changing insight. We're on a mission to grow, and your support means everything. Share this journey with your friends, family, and anyone looking to level up their life. Thanks for being part of the game. Let's face it, jumping into a big market can feel like jumping into shark-infested waters. Sure, there's a ton of opportunity, but there's also a ton of competition. And unless you've got $1 million budget or a revolutionary idea, getting noticed is going to be an uphill swim. Now, think about this. Why fight for space when you can own the space? By starting your business in a smaller, less competitive market, you get to establish yourself as the go-to expert. People know your name, they trust your brand, and best of all, you're not constantly undercutting your prices just to stay afloat. Have you ever felt like you're shouting into the void, whether in business, your career, or even your personal life? You're giving it your all, pouring your heart and soul into what you do, and yet, nothing. No applause, no recognition, just the deafening silence of feeling invisible. It's like standing in a crowded room where everyone's talking, but no one's really listening. Sound familiar? Trust me, I've been there too. That place where you question if all the effort is even worth it. You wonder, am I on the wrong path? Am I missing something? But here's the thing. It's not about shouting louder or working harder. It's about finding the right audience, the right message, and the right approach. And spoiler alert, I found my way out. The journey wasn't easy, and there were days I felt like throwing in the towel. But what I learned along the way, it's gold. And today, I'm here to share that gold with you. Because if I can navigate my way out of that void, so can you. So tell me, have you ever felt this way? Let me know in the comments. Let's start a conversation because you're not alone. Meet Sarah. Sarah had a dream of opening her own bakery. She could have gone to the big city, competing with Instagram-famous pastry shops and chains offering croissants for $1. Instead, Sarah opened her bakery in a small town that had, wait for it, no bakeries at all. She didn't just sell pastries, she became the heart of the community. Birthday cakes, wedding desserts, those random Tuesday donuts. Sarah's shop became the spot. Her prices, higher than in the city. Her workload, manageable. Her happiness, through the roof. Why? Because she owned her pond. Here's the deal. Stepping into a big market might sound glamorous. Millions of customers, endless opportunities. What could go wrong? But the reality? It's a battlefield. And in this battlefield, you're constantly competing on three relentless fronts. Price, the race to the bottom. Imagine this. Every business is shouting, "We're cheaper," in a desperate attempt to lure customers. The problem? Lowering prices isn't sustainable. It's like trying to win a marathon by sprinting the first mile. Sure, you'll grab attention briefly, but eventually you'll burn out. And the worst part, the customers you attract at rock-bottom prices often lack loyalty. They'll switch to the next cheapest option without a second thought. Is that the game you want to play? Attention. Standing out takes time, money, and an iron will. Picture yourself on a stage with 1,000 other performers, all vying for the same audience. Your voice, barely audible. Your unique pitch, lost in the noise. To break through, you need either a giant marketing budget, a viral stroke of luck, or an unshakable resolve to outlast everyone else. And even then, success is far from guaranteed. It's a constant grind to get noticed, let alone remembered. Resources. You're one among thousands. In a big market, the competition is fierce. You're not just competing with startups like yours, you're up against giants with deep pockets, established systems, and massive teams. Think of it like a small fishing boat trying to make waves in an ocean dominated by cargo ships. The sheer scale of it all can feel overwhelming, and without a strategic plan, it's easy to get lost in the crowd. So, while the allure of a big market is tempting, it's crucial to understand what you're signing up for. The odds are stacked against you, and success demands more than just hard work. It requires laser focus, differentiation, and a willingness to play the long game. The question is, are you ready for that challenge? In a smaller market, the dynamic changes. You're not just selling a product, you're building relationships, trust, and loyalty. People value familiarity over flashy. And trust me, when you're the big fish, your rates can reflect the value you bring. No race to the bottom here. You set the standard. Isn't competition easier in small ponds? Why should I worry about standing out? You might think a small pond means fewer competitors, but that's not always the case. Smaller markets can still have plenty of players, and sometimes the competition is even fiercer because everyone knows the audience is limited. To truly thrive, you need to differentiate yourself, even in a tight-knit space. Take the coffee shop example. Many small towns have at least one or two local coffee shops. How does one rise above the others? By offering something unique. Maybe it's a community-focused vibe, specialty drinks, or personalized customer experiences. Even in a small pond, you have to find your unique sparkle, your competitive edge. The reward is that in a small market, your individuality shines brighter and has a greater chance of being remembered and appreciated. Isn't being a small fish in a big pond better for long-term success? It's tempting to think that diving straight into a big market offers more opportunities, but let's be real. Being a small fish in a big pond is often overwhelming and resource draining. You're competing with bigger players who have established reputations, larger budgets, and extensive networks. Unless you have a truly disruptive product or service, it's easy to get swallowed up. Starting as a big fish in a small pond allows you to refine your processes, test your ideas, and build a loyal customer base. Look at companies like Warby Parker or Ben & Jerry's. They started with narrow focuses, affordable eyeglasses sold online, or quirky ice cream flavors sold locally. By dominating their respective small ponds, they established themselves as strong players before expanding into larger markets. This approach creates long-term success because it's built on incremental growth rather than betting everything on a big, unpredictable market. Quick break, got something on your mind? Leave a question or comment below. YouTube's new features are making it even easier and more rewarding for viewers like you to jump into the conversation. Don't miss out on this chance to connect and share your thoughts. A simple recommendation from you to a friend helps us reach more people and lets us keep creating content you love. Thanks for being part of this journey. Now, some of you might be thinking, what if my small pond doesn't have enough demand? What if I'm limiting my growth potential? Great questions and totally valid concerns. Here's the thing. Starting in a small pond doesn't mean you're stuck there forever. Think of it as your launch pad. Start small, but think scalable. Small ponds often connect to bigger ponds. Picture a river flowing from a peaceful stream into a vast ocean. Your small pond is that stream. It's manageable, intimate, and gives you the chance to hone your craft, build relationships, and establish a solid reputation. Once you've mastered your niche locally, you've created something even more valuable than revenue. You've built a brand. From there, you can branch out regionally, then nationally, and eventually even globally. Let's look at an example. Ever heard of Burt's Bees? They didn't start out as a global brand selling lip balms and skincare products in every major retailer. Burt Shavitz, the founder, started small, selling honey and beeswax candles at local craft fairs. He mastered his little pond, built a loyal customer base, and then scaled strategically. Today, Burt's Bees is a household name, but its roots, they're firmly planted in that small, supportive community. Here's another way to think about it. The foundation you build in your small pond is like the roots of a tree. Deep, strong roots allow the tree to grow tall and withstand storms. If you try to grow too big too fast without those roots, you risk toppling over at the first gust of wind. Your small pond keeps you grounded and growing, giving you the stability and confidence to take on larger markets when the time is right. So, don't underestimate the power of starting small. It's not about limiting your vision, it's about creating a sturdy platform for unlimited possibilities. Are you ready to take the first step and own your pond? Let's be real. Starting a business, whether in a small market or a massive one, is no walk in the park. It's an emotional roller coaster. You'll wrestle with self-doubt, hit unexpected obstacles that make you question everything, and yes, you might even face failure more times than you'd like to admit. But here's the thing. Success doesn't demand perfection on day one. It demands action. You don't have to conquer the world right away. You just need to take the first step. Start where you are, with what you have, and let your success build momentum, one step, one win, and one lesson at a time. Now let's bust a myth. Starting small doesn't mean starting without competition. Oh, trust me, I've learned this the hard way. Like that time, I thought selling homemade candles in my neighborhood was my ticket to entrepreneurial glory. Picture this. I'm setting up my little table, proudly arranging my handcrafted lavender-scented candles, thinking, I'm a genius. Who wouldn't want these? And then I look to my left and my right and realize everyone else on my street had the same brilliant idea. It was Candle Central out there. Every neighbor had a table stacked with candles in every shape, color, and scent imaginable. Talk about an unexpected curveball. That's when I learned an invaluable lesson. Even in a small pond, you've got to find your unique sparkle. It's not just about showing up, it's about standing out. For me, that meant pivoting. Instead of competing directly with my neighbors on who could sell the most candles, I leaned into what made mine different: eco-friendly packaging, personalized labels, and a build-your-own-scent experience. And guess what? People loved it. Suddenly, my little candle table wasn't just another stand, it was the stand to visit. So here's my advice. Embrace the challenges that come with starting small. See them as opportunities to get creative, find your edge, and learn what really resonates with your audience. Remember, every success story starts somewhere, and sometimes the best stories come from the tiniest beginnings. Here's the real payoff for adopting this strategy: peace of mind and sustainable growth. Imagine this. Instead of exhausting yourself in a never-ending battle against industry giants, you're crafting a business that's uniquely yours. You're building something on your own terms, where every step feels purposeful. It's not about chaos or constant hustle. It's about fulfillment. The kind of fulfillment that comes from knowing you're working smarter, not harder, and loving the journey while you're at it. But there's more. You're also redefining what success means. It doesn't have to be overwhelming or unattainable. Instead, it can be intentional, it can be deeply meaningful, and yes, it can be wildly rewarding in ways you never imagined. That's the beauty of playing to your strengths and owning your niche. So, here's the million-dollar question. What's your pond? What's that untapped space where your business has room to grow, thrive, and shine? I'd love to hear your thoughts. Drop them in the comments. And hey, if this sparked a little light bulb moment for you, don't forget to smash that like button and hit subscribe. We're all about strategies here that help you make the most of your time, energy, and talent. Remember, it's not the size of your pond that defines your success. It's what you create within it. So go out there, make waves, and own it. Until next time, take care and keep thriving.